truth in words binds the world in a feeling all familiar. And everybody owns the great ideas, and it feels like there's a big one round the corner. Antenna up and out into New York. Somewhere in all that talk is all the answers. And oh, my giddy Aunt New York can talk. It's the modern Rome where folk are nice to Yoko. Every bone of rivet steel, each cornerstone and angle, Jenga Judson, rusty water tower, pillar post inside. Every painted line and battered, laddered building in this town sings a life of proud endeavor and the best that man can be. Me, I see a city and I hear a million voices planning, welding, carrying their fingers to the knob, reaching down into the ground, stretching up into the sky. Why? Because they can. They didn't do so. You and I could live together.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I don't actually know if this is streaming or not. I've been using all this new stuff lately, and in theory, I should be streaming to Facebook and YouTube and Periscope right now. But part of the whole hookup's not working. So give me a second. I'm gonna check and see if anyone's actually watching or listening or talking to me, because right now I have no idea. apparently this is going out into the world. Cool. I don't know if this is going out to YouTube or Periscope, but now Google Chrome has told me that it is going to Facebook at least. Hey Craig, Nick, Foot Pedal Harmony. Yes, it's what's this thing called? The Voice Live 3 Extreme by TC Helicon. I love it. And if I overuse it, you know, tell me to cut it out. Oh, Brad Bush. Hey, Brad, you're saying I'm on Twitter too. Okay, sweet. I think this is all working as planned. Let's see here. Who's saying that the Great Make Believer? Oh, Kyle Resler, you're on the road. And the Great Make Believer has been in rotation on the stereo. Thanks so much. Thanks for taking me with you on the road. Speaking of the Great Make Believer, that's my most recent full album that came out a few years ago. I've got a few more recordings in the works. But if you want the Great Make Believer, I will send it to you for free. I'll sign a copy and mail it to you. You just have to help me with the shipping and handling. And I'll show you how to do that. There it is. That's how you get it. Go to go.chrisrowley.com. All right. This is a song. So, it's a song about walls. And actually, this whole kind of broadcast, I'm trying to theme as about walls and mirrors, reflections of different kinds and barricades of various kinds. And this is a song I wrote when our current president was about to win the election, or I guess it's the first moment I realized it was plausible he could win. And I thought about the urgent fear that many people living in this country must have felt. Well, I felt urgent fear too, but I guess I'm talking about undocumented people and the even more urgent fear that they felt. California boarding house, there's a baby sick in bed. For the second night, his mama holds a cold cloth to his head. If she dials 911, the EMTs could tell DHS to call ICE, and the whole thing could come undone just by tugging on one thread. She's got the phone cord coiled around her fingers like a rosary for prayer. And when the men come through that unlocked door, the boy's delivered to their care. 'Cause that's love in a time of sharp decline. Ain't that love in a time of sharp decline? When the follow through is equal to the fear it overrides, ain't that love the time of sharp decline? When the visit guards were north of Rome, Pope came out and said, all you pagan savages go home, or the Lord will strike you dead. So the tribal king decided to obstruct the aqueduct, and he blocked the flow of food to market, and then he burned up all the crops. So the Pope said to the emperor, sir, without water, fish, and bread, you're royally fucked, and I guess my God wants me to save myself instead.
that love in a time of sharp decline? There's a woman holding vigil in her husband's final days, sifting through the superficial things the hospice nurses say. Since they began the drip to ease his slip, she's never once left his side. She keeps whispering, will you marry me, though she knows he can't reply. 50 years have been refined to something words cannot convey. It's like staring straight into the sun, and she never turned away. 'Cause that's love in a time of sharp decline. 'Cause that's love in a time of sharp decline. 'Cause that's love in a time of sharp decline. 'Cause that's love in a time of sharp decline. When the faith you bring is the only thing you don't have to leave behind, ain't that love in a time of sharp decline? Ain't that love in a time of sharp decline? All right. Hey, Carl. Nate Harvey. Audrey, hey, what's up? Tobias, what's up? Oh, I'm so... All right, earlier in the broadcast, you missed the part where I was freaking out that none of this technology I'm using is working. And it is. Chris Huff, what's up? I'm going to do a segment, because this is like a show, right? It has segments. A segment about poetry. Everyone loves poems, right? So, yeah, the theme of this broadcast today is walls and mirrors. So there's a really great poem by Yusef Komunyakaa that kind of combines both of those. And I will read it. And he is a black poet. I am not, but I will read it all the same, despite the first line. Let me just find this. Here we go. Facing It by Yusef Komunyakaa. My black face fades, hiding inside the black granite. I said I wouldn't, damn it. No tears. I'm stone. I'm flesh. My clouded reflection eyes me like a bird of prey, the profile of night slanted against morning. I turn this way. The stone lets me go. I turn that way. I'm inside the Vietnam Veterans Memorial again, depending on the light to make a difference. I go down the 58,022 names, half expecting to find my own in letters like smoke. I touch the name Andrew Johnson. I see the booby trap's white flash. Names shimmer on a woman's blouse, but when she walks away, the names stay on the wall. Brushstrokes flash, a red bird's wings cutting across my stare. The sky, a plane in the sky, a white vet's image floats closer to me. Then his pale eyes look through mine. I'm a window. He's lost his right arm inside the stone.
In the black mirror, a woman's trying to erase names. No, she's brushing a boy's hair. It's a fucking good poem. Alright. Let's see here. So, I'm going to play a couple more songs. One of them's mine. And, I keep screwing this up here. There we go. Let's try that. This is the next song's a tune I wrote after realizing I'd had the same Facebook argument like 1,000 times. And it wasn't going anywhere, as Facebook arguments are wont to do. Or I suppose going somewhere is what they're wont not to do. And I live in this town called Lewiston, Maine, which was the location of a very, very famous boxing match in the 60s. And so we get to see a lot of really beautiful black and white photos of that match and other boxing events, and something about a still capture photo of people bludgeoning one another felt a lot like the Facebook argument. So this is called Fighting in a Photograph. Standing in the same old ring, with our knuckles bruised and bloody till our hands can't feel a thing. We swing the same old punches, like they're points we've yet to make, in the same old endless arguments we make for their own sakes, until someone's gotta finally stop when someone's heart or morning breaks. It feels like we're fighting in a photograph, just going through the motions. We're just trying to land that jab. See our shadows where they've fallen, both not flat on the mat, both frozen in the moment that some asshole's camera flashed, as if there's wrong and right, black and white, and this is this and that is that. Maybe all we understand is that old familiar feeling of the punches we can land. Well, maybe we've abandoned ever trying to get it right, 'cause somewhere right got lost in all those knockdown, drag-out nights, where we're captured like shadows that had to go hiding from the light is moving closer at the same speed that it leaves, and I'm throwing in the towel now and hoping we'll agree
Let a shadow in a photo can unfreeze.
Thanks, y'all. Every time I switch to see what you're saying on Facebook, it changes the camera on me. I think that's a glitch. Or maybe it's psychically thinking you want to see this side of my face more. All right, so I'm already in drop D, which means this string is turned down lower than it usually is. I'm going to do a cover song that's in drop D as well. Place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. Come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now my hands stop, we band the man on the jukebox, and then we start to dance. And I'm singing like, ooh girl, I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me. Said, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Cause I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like a magnet do. And though my heart is falling too, I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with the shape of you. Well, I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with your body. Oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with the shape of you. Scrub is the guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of my best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is the guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. One weekend we let the story begin. We're going out on our first date. You and me are thrifty, so go all you can eat. Fill up a bag and I fill up a plate. We talk for hours and hours about the sweet and the sour, and how our family is doing okay. We'll even get in a taxi and kiss in the backseat till the driver let the radio play. Now I'm singing like, ooh girl, I want your love. Your love was handmade for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I might be crazy, don't mind me. Said, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Cause I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. And though my heart is falling too, well, I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now my bedsheets smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with your body. Oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah. I'm in love with your body. Oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah. Well, I'm in love with your body. Oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, ah. I'm in love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby. Come on, be my baby, come on.
Come on, be my baby. Come on, be my baby. Come on be my baby. Come on, be my baby. Come on be my baby. I'm in love with the shape of you. And I'm in love with your body. Oh, 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 oh. I'm in love with the shape of you. Boy, I don't want no scrub. Scrub is the guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of my best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is the guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of my best friend's ride. My best friend's ride. My best friend's ride. My best friend's ride. Well, I'm in love with the shape of you. And I'm in love with the shape of you. And I'm in love with the shape of you. And I'm in love with the shape of you.
All right. Little Ed Sheeran for your afternoon or morning, wherever you are. So, Matt, what's up? Heather, John Barrett, how's it going, man? Stanley, thanks for all hanging out on either your lunch break or while you're being very bad, poorly productive laborers in a society that expects you to labor for all the lovely and awful things that we buy. All right, what am I doing next? Yeah, I'm gonna do a another segment. It's not really about an alpaca, but my mom bought this for my daughter, and I thought it was adorable. So here's the alpaca in the broadcast. So this is a segment called 60-Second Song Story, and basically how it's going to go, I'm going to try and explain one of my songs in less than a minute with a little counter going. We'll see how it goes, see how far I get, and what the hell comes to mind. Ready? This is about the song Louise, 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 Louise. And I probably shouldn't say the name of the song in the thing because that'll waste like 10 seconds. Okay, ready? So shortly after my dad passed away, I was hanging out at my parents' apartment, and the reading lamp in their living room turned on automatically. It was one of those timers, and I don't know which of my parents actually said it, but I was going through grief, and I like to believe that my dad said it because it was this reminder that in like tiny and huge ways, the things that he had done in his life lived on after him and set processes in motion. And so I was thinking about how basically all of life's like that. Like the present is just this big echo of the past, and like even ghosts are like a phenomenon that's a reflection of the past. So that worked its way into this song, and I was also thinking about someone dealing with loss in that kind of echo chamber and trying to make sense of the absence, and how a lot of healing is just about patience and kind of waiting for the punchline to resolve the tension. Okay, I have 6 seconds left. It's not a field full of mimes. It's a field full of minds with an N. Okay. I think that made sense. I think I got through most of it. Let me play the song.
Came on, you'd always set the fire on a timer. If a joke's mostly heartache plus time, then this broken heart has to be mine. But I ain't sure what it's working for. Guess I'm waiting for the punchline. Oh, Louise, 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 losing you has put me ill at ease. Maybe years from now, my tears, maybe they will give way by degrees. 'Cause every hurt has to, don't it, lose out to laughter. Miles around they came to hear him speak. So many, some were sitting in the rafters. And Mark Twain, he explained why some things ain't funny till long after. 'Cause the joke's mostly heartache plus time. Your pain might be part of the design. And it makes kind of sense to leave us in suspense while we're waiting for the punchline. Oh, Louise, 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 losing you has put me ill at ease. Maybe years from now, my tears, maybe they will give way by degrees. Every hurt has to, don't it, lose out to laughter. Now I packed the house up into boxes. Now I have to figure what it meant. Now I have to find what little laughs are left behind. I'm pretty sure they're all at my expense. 'Cause the joke's mostly heartache plus time. Waiting like a field full of mines, hidden in the grass till someone stumbles past. You just have to hear the punchline. Oh, Louise, 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 losing you has put me ill at ease. But maybe years from now, my tears, will give way by degrees, 'cause every hurt has to, don't it, lose out to laughter.
So, another thing that's kind of a mystery to me right now is how any of this is sounding. So, if it's like too loud or distorting or not loud enough, let me know. Put it in the comments, because I can't tell right now. I'm going to do a song that I wrote about a selfie that I took of myself, if that wasn't implied in the word selfie. Yeah. Thanks, Brad. From a bargain bin of clothes, I chose what looks more secondhand. And I picked it 'cause I think it makes them think I'm authentic and on brand. A selfie just to see what all my friends they think of me, 'cause I can see and I can track it. Whoa, if they like the way I see in my jean jacket. Woo. Maybe there's a lady in Malaysia who a couple hundred times more a night finishes these jackets beneath the amber glow of factory lights. And every day she dreams she's a thread, lights the seams, and then she wakes to all this racket. Whoa, to sew the golden button on my jean jacket. Maybe there's an old guy in Taiwan who's putting cargo on a freighter bound for you. S.A. When a cable snaps and nearly rips the guy in half, and someone else was in the way. Maybe there's a woman named Noelle who puts the clothes upon the shelves and in the racks. Got a couple kids at home, but all those loans, they ain't paying themselves back. She keeps glancing at the clock while she's opening up a box. She takes stock and then she stacks it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. When I walk into the store and find what I came for, and now my friends, they just adore my jean jacket. Craig Webb. Thanks, man. I'm glad it's working. I'm going to do another song about a wall. This one I wrote a little while ago. I haven't recorded it yet, but hopefully it'll be out, There's a bunch of songs in line. It's a long, long conveyor belt of song. This one's kind of at the back of the line, but it is about a wall, so I figured I should do it in this wall and mirror reflection themed broadcast about a famous wall. Hear the borrowed car with an easy pass. I'm leaving town, you can kiss my ass. Got a middle finger for my old friends. Between where I'm bound and where I've been, well, there's sacred ground and there's evidence. And there's miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Got the window down and the music's on. I got the summer breeze and my favorite song. When the song ends, it plays again. Where the trumpet sounded, the walls fell in. There's what I said and there's what I meant. And there's miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Any fool could build a wall, but as a general rule, all walls fall. Bet they're wondering where I've gone. It's getting closer now, it won't be long. Them good-for-nothing friends of mine couldn't leave the past behind. But goddamn, what I was back then. Between where I'm bound and where I've been. Well, no, I ain't wound like a penitent. It's just miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Any fool could build a wall, but as a general rule, all walls fall. Bet they're wondering where I've gone. It's getting closer now, it won't be long. Watched his world get blown apart, but I ain't going out like him. Between where I'm bound and where I've been, well, there's lost and found and there's lost again. And there's miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Well, that abandoned car on the overpass, well, I guess that fool just ran out of gas. Miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. With miles to go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Go from Jericho to the gates of Jerusalem. Christian Bro. There's a link for a watch party. Amazing. Also amazing that I don't even know what that means. So you'll have to tell me. You wish you could push the button. All right, I'm assuming a watch party is a good thing and you're not watching. I won't even say it. Something else. So I mentioned earlier that I live in a town called Lewiston, Maine. It's a mill town in Maine that's about 30-ish minutes northwest of Portland. It's a really cool, interesting spot. In the 50s, it was kind of like the commercial capital of the state, and everyone would come here to buy stuff. All the stores, like shoe stores and clothing stores and suit stores and all that kind of stuff was here. And then, with the wane of the industrial age, or the manufacturing age, rather, the town suffered. And my wife grew up here, and from her accounts, it was sort of, I think for her whole upbringing, it was known as a kind of poor, struggling old mill town that hadn't figured out what to do next. And over the past, I don't know, I've only lived here for about 5 years, I think. But it seems like there's a lot of really awesome things happening. And there was an influx of Somali and other African immigrants over the past 20 years as well that, of course, brings out the worst in the white native Maine people that really hang on to being a native Mainer as their identity. Anyways, and they like to ascribe all the usual public assistance and racist stereotypes to these people, but without ever really acknowledging the fact that for a long time, when downtown Lewiston was a place that everyone had fled because there was nothing else to do for work or to buy or anything, those folks moved in and they started businesses and kind of kept the place above water until all the cool shishi businesses could move in more recently, like the bars and the bagel shops and all the things that are on the spearhead of gentrification. And I don't mean that as necessarily as a critique. I go to all those places. Those are the businesses I frequent. Anyways, we had an election for mayor a couple years ago where the guy who ended up winning had acquired / perhaps stolen internal campaign emails for the guy who didn't win, who was a super intelligent, driven, compassionate person who would have been a great mayor. And one of those emails that the guy who won acquired was from his opponent, who had gone out and said, it was a tough day today. I was, knocking on a lot of doors, and I encountered a lot of great people, hard workers, these kind of people, every kind of person. And I encountered a couple racists, too, which I think is just a fact. Like, he probably went and met some racists, and then he was just reporting on it. Anyways, this gets leaked and spun as that the guy who wrote the email was the racist and calling, white people in this whole city racist. Anyways, it pretty much cost him the election, and it was total bullshit. It was unethical. It was incorrect. Everything about it was infuriating. Turns out last week, the guy who won, he, it came out how he acquired the emails in unscrupulous ways. And also, there were some leaked communications of his own that were actually racist, not something where he was accusing other people of being racist. They were racist, and so that's the guy that won. And now he's out. He resigned. But man, really, really. I don't even know what to say about it. I just talked for like 2 minutes about it, and I don't know how to conclude it except that it was really quite sad. And then to realize what leagues we still have to go to deal with racism in this country, and for people to acknowledge privilege. Sorry for the buzzword, but it's real. So I wrote a song last fall dealing with privilege. Here it is. There's a street light out at the end of the cul-de-sac, where the crickets rub their legs in the woods out back. And the dark, like death, stretches on. You can't tell what's the woods and what's your lawn. Straight white male. Did your straight white dad tell you, hey kid, you dare not fail? Because the measure of a real man's in his hands. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? You put an angel up at the top of your Christmas tree, and it shines a little cheery light for all your kids and wife to see. But when the house falls asleep, you unplug that wire, leave it on too long, you know you'll start a fire. Straight white male. Like the big fat head of the old snake who eats his tail. Oh, the only thing you understand's the only thing you understand. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? Straight white male. Oh, your rising tide is useless if the wind doesn't fill all sails. But you better bail a leaky boat and never lose sight of land. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? Ain't that right, white American man? There's a street light out at the end of your mortgage loan, and somewhere across town lights are coming on. Thanks, y'all. Hey, Greg Hyatt, thank you. Yeah, it's the Voice Live. What is this thing called? The Voice Live 3 Extreme by TC Helicon, which they sent me, and I was very happy about it, and I should plug them, so I just did. But seriously, it's awesome. Shad, where's the slap button? Aren't you a slap button? What am I going to do now? I'll just take a second to sincerely thank everyone who's watching and commenting, because I am a dad of a 6-year-old, which means my adventures are very close to home these days, and they are many and fun, but I don't really get to travel around and play that much music, so I figured, well, I'll do it during the day, during my lunch break at work. So I'm going to try to do every Tuesday and Thursday, maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock-ish starting time. So yeah, if you like it, I'm sure there's a button you can click on your respective platform. I think this is going out on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook. So follow me on one of those, and it'll give you a notification, I think, when I hop on here. Let's see. All right, I'm going to do a song called Lonely People, which is from my album, The Great Make Believer. So I'll throw up an advertisement here. You can have this album for free. Follow the instructions. And there's a little audience participation if you want to join in at home. When I say Lonely People, Don't You Cry, and you just shout out, Don't You Cry. Lonely people, don't you cry. Lonely people, don't you cry. 'Cause even crippled birds can teach themselves to fly. Lonely people, don't you cry. Heartsick people, don't give up. Don't give up. Heartsick people, don't give up. Don't give up. 'Cause the rain that's falling now could fill your empty cup. Heartsick people, don't give up. When you finally learn to love, the lady luck is laid beside you, and you finally promise to be true. You might find in time that life can still surprise you. She's no longer loving you, 'cause you turned and walked away one too many times. When you thought her love was always here to stay. To love, the lady luck is laid beside you. You finally promise to be true. You might find in time that life can still surprise you. She's no longer loving you, 'cause you turned and walked away one too many times. When you thought her love was always here to stay. People, dry your eyes. Dry your eyes. Hopeless people, dry your eyes. Dry your eyes. 'Cause every ending's a new beginning in disguise. Hopeless people, dry your eyes. Dry your eyes. 'Cause even crippled birds can teach themselves to fly. Lonely people, don't you cry. All right. I'm going to do one more song, and then I'll get off of here. And it's a song by Anais Mitchell. It's kind of the ultimate wall song. So let me change my little scene over here. Check, check, check. Yeah, all right, so I have this playlist called Lyrics in the Limelight where it's basically what it sounds like. It's songs I love that I think have great lyrics. And you can find it on Spotify at the link that's there, bit.ly/Lyrics Limelight. And hopefully by next week I'll get it one of those kind of universal playlists, so it'll be on YouTube and Deezer and all those other places where people listen to music. But for now, for this week, it's just on Spotify. And anyways, this song... she's an incredible songwriter, but she did this album that was basically a concept album based on a play that she was working on called Hades Town, about Orpheus and Eurydice and the underworld and all that stuff. And there's this song that it's pretty much like a modern folk classic at this point, even though it's I think less than a decade old. But in the play and on the album, there's a scene with Hades, the god of the underworld and the god of the dead, kind of talking to his minions about why you would build a wall. And it was, I say, like a prescient song in a way, and forward thinking, except that this is the same old bullshit we always deal with. I mean, if you watch Game of Thrones, you know how well walls work. I don't know why we keep buying into the myth that we're going to be safe behind one. And this song speaks to that in a kind of mythic way, and I think does a great job of illustrating the, I don't know what you'd call it, kind of religious frenzy behind handing over your empathy to someone who promises to keep you safe by actually boxing you in. So this is why we build the wall. Let me get rid of the advertisement for this song. That would be distasteful. Oh yeah, Shad. Shad is reminding me to remind you I'm playing, if you live in Maine, I'm playing in Lewiston this weekend at a place called Sonder and Dram. So come out to that. And I've promised my friend Craig that I would learn the rest of Bohemian Rhapsody. The last time I played in town, I did the first half of it up until the opera section. And so my homework for this week is to learn the rest of it. And I've learned it, but I wouldn't say I've committed it to memory yet. I've got a few more days.
have none, and our work is never done. My children, and the war is never won, 'cause the enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy, and we built the wall to keep us free. That's why we built the wall. We built the wall to keep us free. We built the wall to keep us free.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. This guy needs a name. Anyone want to name this alpaca who's daintily walking along here? What's his name? Name him. Yeah, so thanks a lot. I'll be on here every Tuesday and Thursday, hopefully. And again, follow me on whatever platform you're watching me on so you get notified. And thank you so much. I'm going to do some like request episodes. If you got songs you think I should learn, please let me know. And again, I super appreciate you hanging out with me.